All right, our next material that we're going to identify is going to be our studs. So these are going to be the repetitive structural members that show up to hold the building up. That's going to keep us moving. So what we're going to do is this, is we've got an actual equation that we use that helps us determine the number of studs. So we need to find the length of the walls, and we're going to divide that by the stud spacing in feet. So in this case, we've got 16 inches. To convert that to feet, if we divide by 12 inches per foot, we should get 1.33 feet. So we're using our total length of our walls, dividing by 1.33, and then to that number, we are going to add 2 times the corners, the intersections, and the openings. And here's why. If we draw a plate in plan view, and then we add our studs to it, we know that in the corners, we've got to add an extra stud. We're going to have 2 extra studs in the corner. Here's our normal 16-inch on center layout. And then if we have an opening, let's draw, this next one will be an opening if we're doing a section. In our opening, we know we're going to have at least our normal studs every 16 inches on center, but then we're also going to have our trim studs that are going to hold up our sill plate and header on the inside, as well as a couple cripples. We're going to add a little bit of waste to this equation to make sure we have enough. So that would be an opening. This will be a corner condition. And in our garage, this doesn't really come into play, but if we were to have an intersecting wall, that intersecting wall would have to be supported by something. So an intersecting wall, or an interior wall, that's a big stud, sorry, would be framed like so. We would end up with something called a U-buck. And that U-buck is there to pick up the load from the wall on the outside edge. So that's why we've got the equation is asking us for corners, we have multiple studs, intersections, we at least double our studs, and opening, we have twice as many studs. So to determine the number of studs, you are going to do just that. Find the linear feet of wall minus the large openings, again a 16-foot opening for this garage. You've already got some of these numbers, so you shouldn't have to find them again. And then plug in the equation. So it should be length of walls divided by 1.33 plus 2 times corners plus intersections plus openings. And then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply that whole thing times 1.05%. And that's going to give us a waste factor, which will help account for some cripples and some extra pieces. So once we do that, we can go over to our Menards, identify the price, which we did in class, we did together, and then we can add the total number of studs that we're going to order.